Friends, is there an itching for a debate on Hinduism and Hindutva with various leaders stroking the embers, as it were, every now and then in a manner that can only be incendiary? Admittedly, it's a very sensitive subject for most of the Hindus in India and the rest of the world. Incidentally, there are 90% of Hindus in India, of the entire population. With a very senior leader comparing Hindutva and ISIS and Boko Haram, the die is truly cast. Let's explore what the truth is this Saturday. Hinduism is the world's oldest religion, with roots and customs dating back, to more than 5,000 years. There are more than a billion followers, with 95% of them living in India. Hinduism is dharma, or a way of life, which defines the Hindu's true purpose in life. Hindus believe truth is eternal, Brahman is truth. Vedas are the ultimate authority. Everyone should strive to achieve dharma. Individual souls are immortal, and that the goal of the individual soul is moksha or liberation. The idea of a soul in every living being and as a part of the supreme soul paves the way for virtuous living. Within the Hindu religious life, one could even be a member of more than one tradition at the same time. Is Jain not a Hindu? Are Nepalese not both Hindus and Buddhists at the same time? Is Hinduism then a religion? That's the question. Religion is a Western concept, and it was first used by the British in the census operation carried out in 1871. For they believed that a human being can only subscribe to one thought of life, and this effectively killed a true Hindu spirit and virtuosity of multiple identities. Hindus strive to achieve the Purusharthas needed to lead a morally and ethically correct life. They are Dharma, Kama, Artha and Moksha. Throughout their lives, they attempt to end the cycle of samsara and indulge in good karma or deeds in this life so that the next would be even better. This is the internal strength and unending internal energy of the Hinduism. Are these not basic values for people who practice other religions as well? What then is Hindutva? For me, it is a practice of Hinduism. Hinduism is a Hindu. For me, religion will divide, culture will unite. As long as I practice the tenets and virtues of Hinduism, I am a part of Hindutva. Are then Hinduism and Hindutva inseparable? The debate will continue to eternity, I am sure. That Hindutva is being used as a political ideology or as a political tool may not be ethical. Is it bad in law? We do not know. People, whatever religion they follow, tend to go beyond the so-called social norms due to either ignorance or arrogance. And then the social structures or the religious boundaries that we have created, they will start working and bring them back into the folds of the normative behavior. It can happen through the temples or the mosques or the churches or whatever. Gods are only manifestations of our fears or our confidence. If political parties use them as propositions, what of it? That people have come to assign a negativity around Hindutva as a political or any philosophy is unfortunate. What people must realize is that Hindutva defines and qualifies the practice of Dharma enshrined in Hinduism. It does not build mechanisms around Hinduism. Even if Hinduism or Hindutva is construed as Hindu nationalism, what of it? Anyway, Hindus live and die by the dharma that is defined by Hinduism. It is utterly disparaging to separate Hinduism and Hindutva by considering it analogous to the relationship between Christianity and Christian, or Christian fundamentalism, or Islam and Islamic fundamentalism. What is the difference? Whereas Hinduism is a plural tradition, Christianity or Islam possesses well-defined, universal, creedal formulations. Whereas creedal formulations in Christianity focus on the unique Christian identity of God, Islam tenets are based on Muhammad Prophet's teachings. Unlike in Hinduism, these are codifications or beliefs or opinions which are authoritative, formulated statements of the chief articles of Christian beliefs or Islamic beliefs. Hindutva only encompasses Hinduism and its beliefs. Has Hinduism not coexisted with many others as Jainism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam? Probably Hinduism creedal tenets were too thin in religious content compared to other beliefs. How then can Hindu fundamentalism exist when there are no strong religious binding that happens? Whereas Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant or ISIL, or also known as Islamic State, and the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS, also known as Daesh, is a militant Sunni Islamist group, a Salafi jihadist doctrine. Boko Haram is a group of people of Sunnah for preaching jihad and a classified terrorist organization based in northeastern Nigeria, now part of the Islamic State. The avowed aim of the caliphate of the Islamic State is religious, political, and military authority over all the Muslims worldwide. How can there be any comparison to Hindutva, whose roots are in Hinduism and firmly rooted in Sarva Dharma Samabhava dictum? Of course, the modern India has been built by all citizens, and its future belongs to every one of them. That's the truth. But then, does Hinduism or Hindutva take away the rights conferred, by the constitution on any other citizen? Does Hinduism not offer secular credentials within its practice? Does it impose itself on other religions? Even Hindutva, as understood by its critics, doesn't take away those rights. Is not secularism a separation of church and the state? Then what is the hue and cry about? India, admittedly in the past 600 years, has been ravaged by foreign rulers. The ideologies and practices saw major changes. Hinduism, Hindutva, and consequently the Hindu identity took a beating. However, their resurgence does not make them terrorists like the ISIS or the Boko Haram. Yes, there could be a debate about Muslim Pakistan and a Hindu India, and why at all erstwhile Hindu India was partitioned. There can be a debate on that. There can also be a debate between a theocratic Pakistan and a secular India, or a Sarva Dharma Samabhava India. That is for the intellectuals of the two nations to explain. However, that in itself cannot negate the fact that both are governed by their own ideologies. Like generations change along with their thinking and thought processes, why cannot ideologies change? Even Hindutva has undergone several changes over hundreds of years. If anything, it has only, issued several practices rooted in culture. Don't we know that? Haven't we seen that? How then can we brand it fundamentalist? With that, friends, I end this Saturday's episode. I'm sure I've given you a lot of food for thought. I'll end it here today with the usual understanding that I'll be back the next Saturday and with another episode. Until then, thank you, Dhanyavad and Namaskar.